Hello. Hi, Florida Bass. Hi, Sweet Pea, Deco. Hi, Delana. Thanks for being here tonight. This is sort of a spur of the moment live, but I've been working on this video for a little bit. So the last live stream we did, we went through H's interview with Chris McDonough from the interview room. And we listened through it and elaborated. And something that was pointed out is how much his mother's body language is, kind of distracting in that interview. So I've decided to zoom in and really just show her body language, and so that we can hear the conversation and which areas she coached H in and which areas it appears, possibly she might feel uncomfortable. Again, this is just opinions. I'm not a body language expert, but I think it's been something that a lot of people in the case have pointed out, that, Allie tends to coach Hunter in certain parts of the interview, and she's just interesting to watch. I'll just leave it at that. And as far as my theory in the case right now, I have no set theory. I'm really open to all avenues. We really don't have much to go on since it's open and active, and the cell phone records are obviously being protected, and a lot of information the public doesn't know, I'm sure, is being protected. But I've always kind of at first started out in this case, if you went back and watched previous videos and live streams, kind of leaning towards an accident that took place. But I'm also open to other theories. Which one I'm pretty positive isn't a possibility is a random abduction, like a stranger, pretty much. So everything else I'm kind of open to. Everything else I kind of allow myself to think that it's a possibility, but a random abduction for me just is not it. So with that said, you can kind of see how we'll be going through this. And it's just certain clips from the interview room's interview that he did. And I've turned up the volume so you can kind of hear H a little bit better. And I guess we'll just get right into it. Let me know if you can hear it. I'm just going to.
So show me.
This is like
What's up, man? One of those, right?
Yeah.
I get it. Okay, go ahead. See, I knew that. But people don't know that. Right. So let's make that clear. So somebody can't say, oh, look what he did. Okay.
And so she pulls up, she gets out the car with Summer, and supposedly the kids went to.
So they were just talking about meeting up when everything happened. I'm just looking at chat, and since we are going to kind of analyze somebody's body language on the screen, I'm not going to pull comments up on the screen, but I am looking at chat and reading everything. So hello, Seth and Vicky and everyone else that joined us. Okay, so the things about this day that kind of stand out to me, like when H is part of the trip, is the twisted tea that they pick up, and H and Summer obviously being of underage. I do wonder if, that some of the twisted tea was given to Summer possibly. And again, everything is speculation and just opinion, or, just random thoughts. But I wonder if Summer was given some of that alcohol. We know that they didn't eat at all in the morning and throughout the days. So it really makes me wonder if somebody as small as her, few sips of twisted tea. I just think it's a possibility that might have taken place. There's also parts in the story where Candace is talking about them at the swimming hole, and Hunter is run off into the woods. And it just seems like there's like a gap of time where Summer and like could be swimming and not being watched. And obviously, if Summer had drinking some twisted tea, then Candace would obviously be in trouble, and Grandis at that, because they were both the adults watching them.
To work with the father. And so
Now you say the kids. Who are the kids?
Wyatt and Josie.
So the boys.
Yeah, the boys.
They went to work with Dawn.
That's what I'm stuck with.
Okay, go ahead.
And so,
Okay, yes, ma'am. Okay, so she's here. Grandma's at the hospital. And who's with her that
just
day?
Summer.
Just Summer.
Not
Okay.
the entire day until we pick up the grandma.
Okay, what time do you remember? I know you're not good at times. Guesstimate.
I guess the time that we pick up the grandma.
No, the time she.
I also think it's just very convenient that Hunter and Candace both are not good at time. And what I've noticed in the conversations about time here is Allie is like on board, it seems, also with the fact that no one knows like exact times. So it seems like that's something that all three of them are agreeing on. They don't really keep track of time very well. So Allie kind of nods her head, like when Chris says, "I know you're not good at time." She's sort of like, agreeing, like, "Okay, good, we're all on the same page there." So Candace says that when she's in her interview. H says it, and now Allie is nodding her head about the time aspect. So it kind of seems as though, in my opinion, if you kind of think about it, that they've all agreed that this day, the time aspect, no one's going to be set on. And we do know that Candace talked to Hunter after Summer went missing. So before H is ever even brought to the police station for an interview, he's already talked to Candace, who has already come home from the police station and had her interviews. So just keep that in mind, because that's why, like, when there's situations with cops, they separate people and they get people's stories straight, without letting them talk to each other. But if you think about it, it's possible that H and Candace and Allie were able to collaborate a story after Summer had gone missing.
Pulls up that morning. And who's with her that
Just
day?
Summer.
Just Summer.
Not
Okay.
the entire day until we pick up the grandma.
Okay, what time do you remember? I know you're not good at times. Guesstimate.
I guess the time that we pick up the grandma.
No, the time she pulls up that morning.
Had to have been like around 11, right?
Okay.
Or 10 or
No, just from.
So I'm just going to rewind real quick at this part, because Allie is very stone-faced here. Like, I paused it, and it's right around when they're talking about times and the timeline, obviously. And, Chris is asking him what time, this and that. And H's first answer, Allie isn't nodding her head. And you have to figure, H is looking over at his mom or seeing his mom at the corner of his eyes, and he knows like which answers she's approving of or not approving of. So I'll just rewind real quick, and you just see like her reaction as times are trying to be like pinpointed.
Actually been like around 11. I guess the time that we.
Okay, what time do you remember? I know you're not good at times. Guesstimate.
I guess the time that we picked up the grandmother.
No, the time she pulls up that morning.
Actually been like around 11, right?
Okay.
Or 10.
No, just from your memory, not from mom's.
I think
memory.
it was at least 10.
So do you understand like what I was kind of trying to point out is, she's looking straight, and he says it had to have been 11, and then he like says 10, and he sees that like she gets like a different type of reaction. So hold on one more time.
Guesstimate.
I guess the time that we picked up the grandmother.
No, the time she pulls up that morning.
Actually been like around 11, right?
Okay.
Or 10.
No, just from your memory, not from mom's.
I think
memory.
it was at least 10 because I was up all night.
And it could be wrong too, right? Okay, so let's just kind of put that right there, okay? Because like you said, you're not good with times right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just don't pay attention to time.
Straight up. Okay, so then what happened?
And then.
So right around, pinpointing times, it seems, in my opinion, that Allie, she wasn't signaling to H, forwardly when he said 11. And then as soon as he kind of threw out 10, like in a question, she like, gives that like kind of like head nod, like very subtle. But he's obviously picking up on his mother's body language and coaching. And for some reason, all of them are, or well, at least Hunter and Allie right now feel like 10 o'clock was the time. And again, we don't know if Allie and Hunter are being honest in these times and their stories, but it's just interesting to note that she didn't, in my opinion, it didn't seem like Allie wanted H to say 11. Like as soon as he threw out 10, that hour difference, for some reason, it was more of what Allie was kind of thinking was the right answer.
Then after that, we went inside.
Do you know? Not mom, do you know?
It's the one downtown.
Okay.
I don't know what it's called, but it's the one downtown.
Okay, mom.
So this really didn't have much to do with the body language, which is why I kind of put a little note on the screen is I think that it would be interesting and useful to find out, once grandma is at the hospital, how far, was it from the water hole? Like, was the water hole right on the way home? You know what I mean? Like, it was just convenient while they wait for the prescription to stop there, or was it kind of out of the way? And, they go to get the prescription, but the line was too long. So they leave and then go to the water hole. Like, where is the water hole in relation to this prescription and to the emergency room? Because I'm still trying to figure out what exactly was the main objective of going to the water hole. Was it really just so Summer could swim a little bit, or were they meeting somebody there? Was there a drop off, maybe drug related? I don't know. Oh, thank you, Brooks Richards. Thanks so much. I really appreciate that. And Merry Christmas. Okay, so we'll just continue on. That was just a pinpoint note that I put up there.
Mom, do you know the name of it?
Holston Valley.
Christian Valley?
No, Holston Valley.
Holston Valley? Okay, yes, ma'am. Okay. Okay. And so what?
I also put CCTV footage as a note because I need to know, what traffic lights had cameras on them. How can we for sure track so far up in this timeline if everything's accurate? Vicky says the Walgreens and the water hole were close together, but the opposite direction of Ben Hill. Okay. Was it like close to the ER? Like, was the ER something? From my understanding, it seems like Hunter lives closer to where the ER is. Like, that's like the downtown scene or like the city, quote unquote. So I don't know. I'm just trying to figure all this out, but that helps. Thank you. And so right now, what CCTV footage do they have? Do they have them going through the drive-through at the pharmacy? You know, all those types of things. Obviously, the investigation probably has loads of, well, I would hope. I know once they got out to like Ben Hill Road, there wasn't lights that had cameras, but I'm hoping something did. And surely the ER and stuff does.
What happened then?
And then her grandmother calls her and says to come pick her up when we're sitting right there.
Oh, interesting. So where are you sitting in the car?
At first, I was sitting on the front seat.
Okay.
Like,
Which way's the car pointing?
Like
Do you
the
remember?
truck right now?
Just like my truck?
Yes.
Okay.
It was dead serious like that, but with like an overhead to the bed.
Okay.
Bed part.
Okay.
And we moved a box to the back.
Okay.
And then we moved the box to the very.
So these little details to me seem to flow very like fluidly. It seemed on point. She did agree with him. You seen her nod her head like about how the car was parked. But all that seems in my gut and just feelings, and obviously my opinion, I'm not an expert and I could be wrong, but it seems like everything so far is how it went. Like, it doesn't seem like any hiccups. You know, she's coaching him. We can see that, but I don't see her as being like nervous. You know what I mean? Like, she's just kind of like we've said, like nodding her head, or you know, not giving him the reaction when he says that time thing. So you'll see later when we progress, things kind of get like hairy around certain questions. And you can kind of see, in my opinion, a different sort of state of Allie and the grandma. Like, they kind of get fidgety. They're lighting up cigarettes, like, you know, really puffing on them. Hi, CDT. Thanks for being here. Oh, I know. I saw.
You're welcome.
Oh, Siri. I saw your story with all the Christmas lights. It looked really nice. And if you want to join, just let me know. I know you got to get the kids in bed and all that, but let me know.
Back like family, and we treated them like family.
Okay.
At one point in time, until one mess that happened with them that just split us apart, and then she came that day.
Okay. Okay. So she's here.
So I'm still trying to figure out what exactly happened between Allie and Candus. Like, because he said some things happened and we got torn apart. Wait, hold on. Let me just. And then she came over that day. Hold on.
Okay.
At one point in time, until one mess that happened with them that just split us apart, and then she came that day.
Okay. Okay. So she's here.
So I get like confused when they had their falling out, because in like everyone's question, why is Allie letting her son go with this person that she had this huge falling out with? It just doesn't really make sense. So it's like, did the falling out happen after Summer went missing and they just don't want people to know that? Or I don't know, Vicky, because she said, wasn't the problem jealousy over Jose? I don't know. Like, I thought that, but then at the same time, they're talking about Hunter going to hang out with them and stuff. And at one point in this interview, they're talking about how Allie and Candus wanted to talk about the water park. And it's like, why are they talking to each other if they don't like each other? So to me, it's like, if it was about Jose, I don't know. But I thought Jose ended things because he likes chicks with, and then rhymes with chick starts with a D. Remember? So I don't know. And Don said that he found out that he was gay or whatever. So I don't know what's going on. It's just a little. I almost feel like Allie's falling out happened after Summer went missing, or this day. I don't know. I really don't know how to feel about it.
Summer's here.
Just like, yay, she's over here. I mean, I don't know.
What draws you to Summer, and what draws her to you?
I mean, I think it's because I show her a lot of attention.
Oh, interesting.
Like,
Yeah.
not weird attention, but I show her attention.
No, I get it. Miss Robin shows her a lot of attention too in church.
Yeah, like, I'll sit there and she'd be like, give me a piggyback ride. I'll give her a piggyback ride.
Like an older brother.
That's what I'm saying.
Is that kind of an older brother, sister kind of vibe?
And I feel like everyone's being truthful and on the same page here and in agreement. Like we all know, Robin gave her a lot of attention at church. We've seen pictures and videos of it. We've seen videos of the church, and Candus is slumped, with a hoodie up and, not watching her child, let alone watching the church service. I don't know. But, we've seen these images, and they're images that really do speak volumes. And I think that they're being truthful about, Hunter giving her, the brotherly attention. I think honestly that there was something going on between H and Candace, in my opinion, and many others at this point. And it's to the point where I didn't want to talk about it a lot in my other videos, but 6 months later, it's just like, let's just say it how it is. I think that she had some inappropriate, I don't know, crush on H maybe. So I don't think that H did anything nefarious to Summer, but I think that H has witnessed, Candace not in a good light. And they're all pretty much agreeing here. I mean, Allie is just nodding her head. It sounds like what we've kind of heard through rumors in the case anyways, that the boys didn't, they were mean to her. Candace was mean.
Going here?
Yeah, that's what it was, because her brothers just always used to pick on her, so I just show her how her brother should act.
Okay.
I bought her an outfit to put on because they were supposed to go to Jonesboro, I think. Yeah, Jonesboro for this big park, like water park.
Okay. So that was the initial thought?
I guess so. I mean, I don't know.
So what did you think was going to happen?
I thought we was just all going to go fishing.
So that was sort of body language that didn't agree really, because he's talking about the water park, and Chris said, was that the initial thought for the day, the plans? And H says, I don't know, but as we saw, Allie's nodding her head yes. So H is, at times he'll say I don't know when he doesn't want to commit to one. I think he has some sort of loyalty or some story that, Candace talked to him and possibly Allie about beforehand. And I don't know.
Swimming.
And then in the truck, she changes the plan?
Nah, she changes it to swimming because she grabbed her mother.
Say it again?
She changed it to swimming because she grabbed her mother.
Oh, okay. So from here, where do you guys go?
From here, we go to the hospital.
Store.
Nobody went in. We went through the drive-thru.
Got it.
The drive-thru. And then while we were in the drive-thru, her husband.
So again, at this point, it seems like, I don't know, for the most part, Allie doesn't seem too nervous. She's still kind of coaching, like we've said, but she's not, smoking at this point or fidgeting. She's just hanging out. So at this point in the story, I think things are what they are, and it doesn't seem like the story's fallen apart yet. Whether they're being truthful or not, I don't know, but even if they're lying, it seems like they're all on the same page as far as what the lie is, if that makes sense. And again, remember, H has ADHD, and this is in the beginning of his interview. As the interview progresses, you can almost tell that his ADHD is getting to him, and it's affecting the way, his story is coming across. And near the end, you can definitely tell, like, oh man, this kid's lying. How long has he been lying? I don't know, but you can tell visibly, and just like his tone, like he's just bored of the questions and like sitting there like he has ADHD, and you can tell like he just doesn't care if they believe him or not at that point.
In calls, they're talking about this dude named on the property that's been there for like a week or so. She told me they keep stalking little kids.
Who's that?
Some dude named like I have no idea who it was.
Okay. And why did Don call?
I have no idea. He just called. I don't even know if he was working at the time.
Okay.
But if he was working, he obviously wouldn't know that there was some dude looking at the little kids.
So this dude named.
So at this point, the story, they're bleeping out the name. But H is saying that while they were in line at the pharmacy, Don called and said that some creep is around the property, and somehow the story gets turned into looking at little kids, or up there to touch the little kids or something. Hang on, just checking the baby monitor. My fiance's here, but oh, she's teething, so I'm like watching. He's picking her up, but she's waking up a little bit. But okay, back on track. So at this point, Grandma's lighting up a cigarette, and they're talking about that guy on the property. And I almost feel like this guy on the property could, and they bleep out his name, of course, so we don't know, but is this referring to David Dobson, or that neighbor, the one that was in that dispute with the property, and who owns property right next to the wells, or like lived near it? Is that who he's talking about? Because they were like surveying the land, and I guess there was like a big land debate at the time. So I almost feel like, is that what they're talking about? And he's just like a creep? Like, I don't know, because it's bleeped out. But it really makes me wonder if Don called. And again, Don and Candus both say Jackie Dobbs. Thank you, Philip. Could be Jackie Dobbs. Yeah. So Don and Candus both say this phone call never happened. And it just makes no sense, because TBI and law enforcement have the phone records. They'll be able to know, like, if this call took place, at least, the timestamp. I guess we'll never know if the conversation took place, but if it took place, and H is telling the truth, then maybe it was just about Jackie Dobbs. Or if a lot of people think that there's illegal activity going on, like dealings or whatever, maybe it was something like that, like somebody picking up something from the shed or whatever, you know what I mean? It seems as though, and again, this is also through, word of mouth of neighbors and all that. We've been hearing these rumors since day one in the case, especially if you're researching as much as all of us have been. So people have said that the neighbors are, said that people were partying with Candus all hours of the night with the kids home. And again, what's sad is, okay, sad, thank you for stopping by. Good night. Merry Christmas. The people who were stopping by to party with them, they like barely knew. So in the 911 call, remember the one that just got released last week through Molly Golightly's channel. Remember, we heard the kids in the background. So, I mean, they're just right there when all this stuff is going on. And unfortunately, it's sad what they've witnessed, but even H alludes to things that he's seen that go down, and no child should have to witness. And he kind of talks about it here a little bit in the video.
Don calls Candus
and tells her about, I don't know if his name is,
and
suddenly, Allie is chain smoking, but I mean, not chain smoking, but she's puffing like no tomorrow, in my opinion. But I'm not a smoker of cigarettes, so I don't really know. Maybe this is just how she smokes. But what if, and again, this is just speculation, and that's all we have to go on, perhaps she's nervous at this point when they're talking about the neighbor and the person up on the property. Or if it's drug related, maybe they're involved. I don't know. This is just, rumors that we've heard that they've partied together, and all that.
tell me about that conversation.
all I heard was,
And how did you hear it?
I heard because I asked her why he called.
Okay.
The only thing that she told me from the phone call is that there was some dude, whatever it was, just the name.
Okay.
That's all I remember. Is that he's been up on the property for a week or two, trying to, like, I guess she said, touch the little kids. That's what I was told.
He's trying to have what?
Touch the little kids.
Touch the kids?
Like, give him a hug or something. I don't know.
What do you think? Do you think that's true?
I mean, it could be because she's had this, name was Billy, right? Yes, Billy. Billy was up there doing.
So, hi, D Irish. So, I don't know. This is my opinion at this point. I don't know. It's so hard. I almost feel like this whole story is half true. Like, it was people, surveying the land and maybe that Jackie Dobbs guy, but they've turned it into like a different story. And that's why, she's just sitting here and she feels no need to coach, because this is something that maybe mother and son talked about beforehand. They're going to paint Candus to look really bad, and they really don't need to go to the extent of lying. But I think that at some parts in this interview, they did lie about things a little bit to make Candus look bad. But as we've seen, she kind of doesn't need help with that. But at this point in the investigation, this was, I think, 4 months ago. So it's been open for 6 months. So this was very early on, this interview. And I think, I don't know if they were maybe nervous about things or what, but I'm not really believing some of this story, or some of it's kind of just being pieced together randomly to make the big picture look bad.
That stuff until he got arrested.
And Billy is the brother,
No.
the son.
No.
Billy was an old drunk.
And
He's
all
what?
drunk.
He was an old drunk that was a friend of theirs that used to get in arguments with his wife.
And go
His
up to
wife
their
would
house.
take him out, and he would go up there and sleep in one of the sheds on the property.
Got it. And who was Billy trying to touch?
Well, Billy had the hots for grandma.
The grandma.
See, it's like, why even bring it up then? Because if Billy had the hots for grandma, it didn't seem like it was really related to the other things that they were talking about. I don't know. Just seemed like they had just thrown it in there as just a means to paint Candus really bad. And just let me know what you guys think also. Like, do you think that this was a point where, I don't know, do you think that this call from Candus, or from Don to Candus, took place where he was saying somebody was up on the property looking to blah, blah, blah? Hi, Shannon, Georgia Peach.
Got it. But what about the kids?
Oh no, he wasn't allowed to look kids. His mom wasn't allowed that.
So why would Don, in your opinion, call Candus while you're in the line at Walgreens to say there's some dude on the property wanting to touch the kids? Help me understand that.
I mean, at first I thought because he calls her like every 2 hours because he.
See, like, it would almost seem like maybe if something was set up, this was just used as an alibi or excuse. Like, say there was an abduction that was planned, or something where they gave Summer away or owed money or whatever. People have speculated all that. If Don called and said, while H was there to hear it all, that somebody was on the property, then why is Don and Candus saying that H lied about that? You know what I mean? Like, it would seem like they would agree with that and be like, yeah, it's true. Somebody was, and we told the cops that. But they've denied that this call took place. Yeah, Kindness Sprinkle said only Candus knows, period. Exactly. That's what it's come down to. And like, I feel like, I don't know, I just don't want this to turn into another like John Benet Ramsey, where that only the parents were the last ones to kind of be around, and now they took it to their grave, the truth, and I don't want that to happen here. But I almost feel like at this point they're never going to change their story from they went swimming, dropped H off, went home. She went in the house, went to the basement, and vanished. Like, I feel like that's just going to be the story over and over, and that's not the truth.
Works.
Okay.
I thought he was just doing his daily checkup.
Okay.
But then she told me about that. I was like, how does he even know that if he's supposedly working?
And what did she say?
I didn't say that. I was just saying in my mind.
And in your mind, what did you come to? What did you deduct?
I thought that was just suspicious.
Really?
Yeah, and then later, when she called me.
See, this part made no sense to me either, because at that point, why is something suspicious to you? Nothing has happened. And he just said, I thought that he was just calling because he always calls like every, during the day. Hold on, let me rewind.
And in your mind, what did you
Supposedly working?
And what did she say?
I didn't say that. I was just saying in my mind.
And
about that, I was like, how does he even know that if he's supposedly working?
And what did she?
And that part, like, do you guys think that H came to that conclusion himself at that time? Because he's saying that Don saw people on the property, and then H is saying, how would he know that? I was thinking, how would he know that if he's supposedly at work? I mean, I don't know. It's just like, why is H, first off, listening in on their conversation? That's, to me, it can mean many things, but I almost just feel like there was just something going on between Candus and H. And I don't know if it's like, I don't know. I just really think something, I don't know.
She say?
I didn't say that. I was just saying in my mind.
And in your mind, what did you come to? What did you deduct?
I thought that was just suspicious.
Really?
Yeah, and then later, when she called me and told me that happened, I was with my girl at the time, just hanging over in Bristol Park.
Okay.
She calls me while we pull up to that park. This was that Summer's missing.
So who were you kicking it with at the park?
Oh, just my girl.
Okay, just
and her
you guys.
mom and her brothers and her sister.
Okay, straight up.
That was just it with our entire family. Because when she at the ball field? Yep, she was at the ball field.
Okay, so before we get the normal.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, that call that Candus got from Dawn, tell me about that call again.
The call? So where her phone is in the middle of the truck. You know the console part.
Okay.
It was right there, and he called, and she said everybody.
So this is just sort of like not near the end of the interview, but you can kind of already tell he's like that call. I don't know. It's just if you listen closely, you can tell Hunter's tone. He's just kind of getting bored of it. He's like dragging out his answers. You'll see. Just looking at chat. Thank you, Pink Dahlia. I read your comment. Thank you.
Be quiet, so we all was quiet. Her mom was going through her phone. I turned my phone off till she was done to see if I could listen in on anything suspicious or anything. And then after she got off, I go, "What do you call about?" She goes, "There's been this dude. I know it starts with for sure. I just can't figure out the rest of it."
Okay, so, okay, straight up. So she's in the car, you're with Candus, Summer's in the water. Walk me through that. What do you see happening?
See happening? I just see her swimming like usual.
How far out is she?
Okay, so you got that TikTok on your phone, Sam? Because I want to show him precisely
Okay.
the exact how far she goes.
Okay. And who took this TikTok?
Her mother.
Candus.
I mean, you might see me throw up a gang sign, but
Did you take a TikTok?
I'll do TikToks.
Okay. Did you do pictures? You do Instagram, Twitter?
I mean, I do pictures with my girl, but that's it.
Right. Did you do a picture with her, with Summer that day?
Nah, she was just taking a video.
Candus was.
Yeah.
Okay.
She took a whole video of all of us over there.
Okay. Who's all of us?
Me, her mom, and Summer.
Got it. So mom gets out of the car at some point?
Yeah, at some point. I don't even know what point that is.
Okay, that's cool.
She just gets out the car when she's done with the phone, and then they tell me about that water part.
Okay, so you see a point where Summer is underwater.
For like 10 to 15 seconds.
Okay, walk me through that.
So I'll go in calm as heck because I know she might just be messing around.
Did you think?
So I noticed. Oh, yes, Deco. Absolutely. 100%. She said Candace is young-minded emotionally. Yeah, something is stunted for sure. A lot of times that happens from trauma, but I don't know her past like that. But yes, D Irish, yeah. Due to drug use, interesting. So the dog was barking. A lot of noise had been occurring throughout this whole interview. And as soon as they start at the Summers in the water story, for some reason, at that point, even though the dog had been barking for a while, for some reason, Allie had to get up at that point, which is, and maybe it means nothing, but I just want it noted as soon as they start talking about Summer in the water, the mother decides at that point to kind of get up and perhaps shush the dog.
Shook him.
Then we went to grab that prescription.
That's when you went to the prescription
Yes.
at Walgreens
Mm-hmm.
because it was ready.
Yeah.
Okay, how long do you think it took for that prescription to get ready?
They said 35 minutes.
Okay.
So that could have all took 35 minutes or more.
Okay. And then what happened did somebody go into the store or did you go through drive-through again?
Drive-through again.
And where are you sitting at this point?
I was sitting in the middle because.
So she's smoking and kind of like fidgety here. And if you listen to what H just said, he said all that could have taken 35 minutes. Like it just is like he's trying to fill gaps of time himself, in my opinion, because the timeline is just elusive on this day for, Hunter's story and Candace's.
She was the person that was wet, and so she had a pillow under her.
Got it. So she's sitting on a pillow.
So that's the other thing that is kind of questionable, because when H talked about going in the water to help Summer and she came up and she was laughing. And again, you can watch this whole interview. We kind of broke it down on my last live stream, I think from a week ago. And if you don't want to hear my breakdown, you can watch the original on the interview room. And he pretty much said that she went underwater, came up, and was laughing. But since this is just strictly about Allie's body language, we're just going through clips.
The baby is.
Yeah.
Summer. Hey, where's that pillow now? Do you know?
The pillow now?
Yeah, the pillow.
So that's the other thing, is the pillow. Both Candus and H are kind of like unsure about it. And it really troubles me because H said, for one, that the pillow was there because she was the only one wet, but he had also said that he got in the water to help her out. So how is he not wet? And we seen him in that TikTok video, and he was kind of walking in the water a little bit. So, and he had his shirt off. So I'm like, what is he talking about? So now things kind of get a little hairy. And
even though I haven't been up to their house in like over a year, to be honest with you.
No, that's cool. So from there, where do you guys go?
From there, we go to Sonic.
Where?
I get worried about the pillow missing too, because if something happened, right, Vicky, just same page. Where is the pillow? Where is the swimsuit? Exactly. If something happened and so everyone knows when something happens, or people can, or let's say she did drink, how we kind of theorized earlier that they were giving Summer alcohol, the twisted tea. People have, peed their pants. Is that why she was sitting on the pillow? Because they didn't want that like on, the seat of the car, you know what I mean? I don't know. No one knows where the pillow is. The boys at this time, Sarah, are home, according to Candus, watching TV and sleeping at the same time. And according to H, he was told, or he heard, he says in this interview, that they were at work with Don. Thank you, Becky. No problem.
Sonic.
Sonic? And what did you get at Sonic?
Slushies. Like a blueberry slush. So they got groceries for the house.
So, again, we're doing clips, so that's why it's kind of jumping. I just kind of want to elaborate for a second. If they went to Sonic, according to Candus, when Chris asked her, did you guys get any food? She said no. And I'm like thinking, at this point, Summer's been up since early, because Candus said she woke her up early because she'll sleep in until noon if she lets her. But we've never heard them talk about food. Now she's gone swimming, done all this stuff. They stop in a drive-through and they're not going to get food. So to me, I'm almost thinking at this point, something happened. And either she didn't get food because Summer's, asleep, or, passed out drunk. They got slushies maybe to hydrate her. I'm just concerned why no food was bought. It almost would seem like Summer would ask for French fries or something, but since no food was bought, was she even awake at that point? Florida. Oh my gosh.
So I don't know what all they got. All I seen was what was beside of us, the milks.
Okay. And where did the orange soda come from?
The orange
Next.
Okay, here's the thing. This is later in the interview, as I was saying, Hunter kind of falls apart a bit, in my opinion. Everything was going fine a little bit, and then they get to this picture, and they're trying to piece it together, and you can tell that Allie gets a little uneasy about the soda, and H didn't know how to answer that question either. So it makes me wonder, was the soda bought to kind of like give her energy or something? I don't know. But it seemed like none of them planned out the answer for the orange soda question.
To Summer on the seat.
Like, you hear Hunter, the orange soda, the orange soda. And even Allie kind of like looked up like how you look when you're like thinking about something, and she leans back with her cigarette like she's smoking, like, oh, like in my opinion, oh crap, we didn't coach that part. We didn't prep this answer. CDT. My kids always ask for food when we go to get slushies, and I usually cave and get them something, even when I know they're not truly hungry. I do think Summer would have been hungry and asked for food. Exactly. And this isn't in a interview with the interview room, but Voices Behind the Wall did an interview with Don, and he said she loved french fries anytime they would, and these are just stuff that I've listened to and I've realized and pieced together, in studying this case for 6 months and watching everyone else study it. She said, or he straight up said, she every time we drive by McDonald's, she always wanted french fries. So here they are, like CDT's describing, they're in the line, and a lot of people get things when they think, oh, I'm just going to get a sweet tea. Like for me, oh, I'll just get a sweet tea. And then I'm like, well, you know what? Let me just grab a medium fries or a kid's meal. I like getting kids' meals. So it's just like questionable. That's all. For sure. And just watch Allie, like in this part around the orange soda, I really think that she's anxious. Yeah. And I clipped that in my Summer Wells documentary that I did. I tried to kind of piece together things that personalized Summer and kind of painted a picture of like who she is. And that's where I got that French fry clip from. And that's why I'm like, this just isn't making sense. They're getting slushies. No food all day. But you know what they want to emphasize later that places them at the house, CDT and chat? The candy. Candus and Grandis. She went over to my mom and grabbed a piece of candy. And Grandis said she says that story through that message that was going around early on in the case. She came to grab a piece of candy, and it's like, is that, I just feel like that's just part of the story. Like it's not what happened. It's just a collaborated story that Grandis and Candace have decided on. Yeah, exactly. I mean, they just would have grabbed it, in my opinion, if she was awake, which is what, and again, my opinions on this case are up and down and all over the place. So, um, yes, Becky, I've seen really strange pictures regarding this case.
I'm really trying to think on that one. I forgot there was orange soda.
There is an orange soda on the seat in the TikTok video.
And again, the dog is continuing to bark. And it's not like a priority to anyone to like get up and hush it or anything. But like we pointed out earlier, as soon as they talked about Summer in the water, Allie had to get up at that part. So we can hear the dog barking and we see everyone look at the grandma's face while they're talking about the orange soda. And Allie knows at this point, like, we did not plan this answer. Like, look at the way she's kind of like puckering her lips, like she knows. Yes, absolutely. I agree. That's true, Bings. She said CDT because we're just relating it to our own kids and experience. CDT is a good mom, which is true. We have to consider she probably used to being disappointed with her parents and not getting anything. Right. And Don was the one to say that he would cave and get her things. So, but like, why buy slushies? Like, was she trying to hydrate her? Was Summer? I don't know.
TikTok video.
Yeah, and the video that somebody took of her in the car.
There was also Skittles or something, some kind of candy.
Something I noticed here too. Okay, first off, just look at the grandmother. But second off, Allie's been, unless she's asked a question throughout this interview by Chris, she's kind of stayed quiet. Like, she really let her son answer for himself, like verbally. She was saying she didn't cut in and answer for him. She was, hinting things to him and visually, like, her facial expressions, everything we've broken down, but she never really like spoke up like she does here. So they were talking about the orange soda and everyone's kind of like, oh, dumbfounded, in my opinion, their faces and all that. And Allie chimes in, changes the subject off the orange soda and turns it to, there were Skittles too, right? And it's like, we're trying to get the answer of the orange soda, but everything's just happening kind of quickly. And we, I believe, never get an answer on the orange soda past this point. And all we had H saying was, oh yeah, I forgot that there was an orange soda. And the way that he like says that, it's like he was like prepped to remember everything else and certain things of other things, but everyone, including his mother here, you can tell she was, forgot all about it and wants to take the attention away from the soda. And, she points out there were Skittles too. And it's like Chris McDonough is a detective. I'm pretty sure, retired. He can bring that up himself. Maybe he was about to say, what about the Skittles, but Allie had to kind of like steer it that way at this point. So to me, the orange soda is very questionable. I don't know how you guys are feeling. Sarah, I don't think they were paid for the interview. Not 100% sure. I'm just looking through chat. Some of the girls in the photos even have to same short haircut as Summer. What girls? I'm looking at chat. Oh. Okay. Yeah, CDT, let me know how they are, because if she's going to email them to you, let me know. All right, moving along.
And then what about the candy on the seat?
That was her key. Her grandma done bought it for her in the store.
Okay, so from there, now you have this, they come back.
Okay, so like I said, we never get the answer on the orange soda because Allie interrupted. And then watch the grandma here. I don't know what she's saying, but she seemed a little bit nervous. Hold on. Because they never gave the clear answer or got tripped up about the orange soda.
That was her key. Their grandma done bought it for her in the store.
Okay, so from there, now you have this.
I'm really trying to think on that one. I forgot there was orange soda.
There is an orange soda on the seat in the TikTok video.
TikTok video.
Yeah, and the video that somebody took of her in the car.
There was also Skittles or something, some kind of candy.
And then what about the candy on the seat?
That was her key. Their grandma done bought it for her in the store.
Okay, so from there, now you have this. They come back to the car. When did they take that picture? Do you know? It looks like she's against the door, though.
So once again, the dog is still barking and no one is getting up to hush it. At this point, they're falling apart. The story. Right when they're talking about the milk and all that, I feel like the orange soda and this whole photo pretty much tripped up their story.
In that picture.
I wasn't there when that picture was took.
Oh, okay. When did they take that picture? Do you know?
I have no
I
idea.
believe the one with the milk jugs was sitting right there in front of my house because that's exactly how that baby was before they left.
Okay, well, when you were in the car, where'd they put the milk?
Well, they gave it to me.
So Allie's saying that this is how she was before they left. So which would mean that Summer is asleep or, in this state right in front of H's house as he's being dropped off. And that was around 2:30-ish or 3. So that's what Allie is claiming. H just said he wasn't there when the photo was took.
Gave it to you.
Not to keep, but
to put it away.
Yeah.
And where did you put it?
I had it sitting on my lap until we got out the car.
Got it. And out here?
Yeah, out here.
Okay.
And she pulled up like a truck now, like where it's at right now.
Right.
But the opposite around.
Got it. So it's facing that way.
Yeah.
And you're getting out on this side. And where do you put the milk?
I set them in the middle because Summer had to. Did she even get out the car or did I? I thought she got out the car too. I don't remember that.
Okay.
Okay, so see that part fell apart. Did Summer get out of the car or no? How would he not know if Summer got out of the car? And why is he asking, things have fallen apart in their story at this part. And he doesn't know how to answer appropriately with, because Allie was chiming in at this point and saying, that's how that baby looked when they pulled away from here. So, okay, CDT said, H and Candus say Summer was awake at drop-off, and Allie says she was asleep. Yeah. So right here, he's saying, did she get out of the car or no? And even the grandma's like, you got out of the car. So this whole picture is deeper than I initially thought it was. Because look at how everyone's react. No one can get the right story when Summer was asleep, quote unquote. So let's just hear that again one more time and you'll listen. And if you listen to the whole interview without just the edits, you'll hear, things start out good in Hunter's answers, and whether he's telling the truth or not, he knows what to say. And then, as you see the sun's kind of like not even going down, but the day is progressing. We don't know how long this interview was, but he's getting fidgety. Things are showing up on the table, Mountain Dew and stuff like that. And he's just not given the answers. He's tired.
At some point, this side. And where do you put the milk?
I set him in the middle because Summer had to. Did she even get out the car? Or did I?
For sure.
I thought she got out the car too. I don't remember that.
Okay. At some point, how did the milk bottles get on the other side of her? Do you know?
I have no idea then because she said that she was sleeping on the door. But when I got out the car, she wasn't even at the door. She was in the middle.
Was she sleeping on you?
Nah.
Was she asleep?
I didn't.
Look at the way Allie's looking at her son. She's like, come on, get it together. In my opinion, that's just what I think. Like, I just feel like right now she's like, oh man. Because the swimming when she went underwater was a vital point in this whole body language assessment, in my opinion, of Allie. And here, when they're talking about this photo and when Summer was asleep, in my opinion, is Allie's body language and the grandmother while we got her in shot. I mean, just listening to H's answers, it's very hazy and interesting, I guess, because it just seems like they're uncomfortable. CDT said, I think Allie knew people were questioning Summer's state in the video photo and wanted to shade Candus by lying she went too far and Summer was asleep. Okay, hold on. I just rereading it with went too far, not too far. Oh, okay. To shade Candus by lying she went too far and Summer was asleep. So you think that they're lying about Summer being Allie wants him to say Summer was asleep because that's what she told in her first interview. Oh, from the unmasked interview. She wants H's to line up with hers.
Even seriously, but I just got out the car because she wanted to talk to her.
Okay. Got it.
About that thing for last Friday, the water park.
Got it. But where's Summer?
She was still in the middle. I wasn't really paying.
So yeah, I see what you're saying. Even emphasizing this swimming hole accident, CDT, you think was just to make Candus appear like a bad mother too, which is sort of how I took it. But if I'm also looking at, body language, it's like, is she doing this weird body language because she knows that they're just lying and just trying to make Candus look bad? Or is this weird body language because they know it's a vital time in the story and timeline? So it's like, we just don't know. It definitely can go both ways. I totally agree.
To be honest.
Okay. Okay, that's cool.
I wasn't even paying attention at that point. I just wanted to go inside. We just wanted my girl.
Again, here we're just talking about being fidgety, and they're talking about this picture and the milk jugs and her being asleep or not. And if it's because, their story's falling apart, is Allie trying to, distract by fidgeting with stuff on the table? Even the grandma was like, oh, what's that? That definitely could be, it could go either way. It could be they're just, making stuff up. So she's trying to distract Chris McDonough from the made up story that H is saying. Because even H right now, his story is just falling apart. He doesn't even know what he's saying. He's like, I don't know. I wasn't really paying attention at that point.
Where's Summer?
She was still in the middle. I wasn't really paying attention to her, to be honest.
Okay. Okay, that's cool.
I wasn't even paying attention at that point. I just wanted to go inside. We just wanted my girl to come up a bit. That's the whole point.
Is Summer hurt by this point, you think? From the water?
I mean, she could have been. I mean, I wasn't really paying attention to her.
Then what happens? We get on.
And then I showed Mom at that door.
Okay.
And that was it.
Okay. And this is when you saw Summer in the back. How did the milk get on get rearranged?
I have no idea.
See?
I mean, I could have said I'm there when I got out the car.
That's fine.
But I'm telling you now, I really don't remember anything but talking to her.
Got it.
That
Yeah, and like CDT, Allie didn't even know how to answer that milk question. He said, "How did the milk get rearranged?" And she was just kind of like, didn't know. And like you're saying, if she lied about going out to the car, then she wouldn't know how the milk got rearranged. So yeah, it's just definitely not, the stories have not lined up from Allie's story and even her own son's story.
No problem. What do you think, Miss Allison? How's that milk get rearranged?
I don't know. That milk was there when they pulled up like that.
Okay, but Hunter had the milk.
See, and like Chris just caught her not lining up with Hunter's story. Hunter said the milk was on his lap when they pulled up, and then he put it on the other side. And now she's saying that the milk was like that when they pulled up. So you're right, and why the stories aren't lining up makes no sense. Yeah, I really think Ellie did not go to the truck, in my opinion. Right. And the other thing is confusing. Like, I thought you guys weren't friends. So why are you going out to the truck? It's just like, why did Allie lie about going to the truck? To make Candus look bad, pretty much? Is that where, like, another attempt to make her look bad? Right. CDT said, you know who else could tell the drop-off story? Grandis, but she won't speak. Exactly.
In the middle.
in the middle.
And so now the milk's on the other side of Summer. How does that happen?
I don't know.
I don't either, and that's why I'm asking.
I don't even remember how I got out the car.
That's fine. That's
I
fine.
thought I was totally sitting in the middle the entire time, but I guess not.
Now, did Candus then?
So why doesn't Hunter remember how he got out of the car? You know what I mean? Is he under the influence at this point? That's what I'm just like wondering, because there's a lot of points near the second half of his interview where he's like, I don't know, or I don't remember, or I wasn't paying attention. And it's like, were you, hazy for some reason?
And let's fast forward. We'll come back to that later. There's going to be a lot of questions about that, though. I'll give you a heads up, okay? A lot of folks are going to ask about, well, how'd that happen, okay?
Yeah.
So I'm just giving you, a heads up on that, okay? Just so you know, okay?
Got you.
Now, straight up, though, from there now, you're here.
Mm-hmm.
When's the next time Candus contacts you?
Around 7:30 that day.
That night. And where were you at that time?
I was over at the park in Bristol with my girl.
Hanging out with your girlfriend. Okay, and what happens? Tell me about that.
So
I'm not sure like what's going on here, but I don't know if I just don't know. Can somebody explain what's going on here? Does she have is she whistling, or I don't know.
called me saying that someone's missing.
Okay.
I thought she's pulling away because she's known to do that.
Okay, why would she mess around with her daughter missing? What struck you about that?
I mean, it's just, we explain how she does when she gets drunk. She tends to, when she gets drunk and high at the same time,
Yep.
She tends to think that she uses the kids, but they're out front in the yard. That's what I was thinking.
So this is just terrible. Right. H knew that time, but not any other time. Exactly. Good point. Yeah, I agree. Chris did an awesome job. Yep, Sweet Pea, there's just something going on. Not sure why there's like lying going on, but there's just a lot of deception. Hold on, let me just rewind 1 second.
Out front in the yard, that's what I was thinking.
Got it.
Okay, I remember now. So, Deco, yeah, he said he thought that Candace was joking around about Summer going missing. And Chris said, why would she joke around about that? I'm paraphrasing. And he pretty much said, when she gets drunk and high, and I'm assuming meth, she thinks that she misplaces the kids, but they're not misplaced.
Happens. Tell me about that.
So she called me saying that someone's missing.
Okay.
I thought she's pulling a leg because she's known to do that.
Okay. Why would she mess around with her daughter missing, though? What struck you about that?
I mean, it's just, we can explain how she does when she gets drunk. She tends to, when she gets drunk and high at the same time,
Yep.
She tends to think that she uses the kids, but they're out front in the yard. That's what I was thinking.
Got it. So this, got it. Straight up. What did she tell you?
She was like, Summer's missing. So I was just like, okay, well, why don't you just go look outside? She says, I have been, she ain't there. I said, well, call Allie then, because I don't know if she's still pulling a leg. Because if I tell her to call Allie, she'll call me back. And then I'll call Mom and be like, did she tell you this? Or was she just messing around?
Got it. So you call your mom?
Yeah, I call her on Facebook after she picks up.
And gave her a heads up that.
So that was interesting to me. So Candace called him when she left the police station, or no, when Summer went missing around 7:30, and he thought she was joking. Calls, yeah, Tasia, that's what I'm pointing out. Why did Hunter get mad at Allie at this point? I think that there was like urgency to this call to his mother. It wasn't because he was verifying with his mom if Summer or if Candace was telling the truth about something. Because at that point, why would Allie know if Candace was telling the truth anyways? Hunter said he thought that she was either drunk and high at the same time and thought she misplaced the kids, but they are normally out in the yard. So I got off the phone and called my mom to verify if that was true, but she didn't pick up. And he's like all mad about her not picking up. But if you were just verifying it, why would it have mattered like if she picked up, right away or not? So let's just hear that again real quick.
Mom be like, did she tell you this? Or was she just messing around?
Got it. So you call your mom?
Yeah, I call her on Facebook after she picks up.
And gave her a heads up that
Candace was going to call.
Candace going to call her and tell her that Summer's missing. Straight up.
So, I just don't get why he had to call her, at that point and be all like mad that he had to call her to say that Candace was going to call and say that Summer was missing. And he's mad that she didn't pick up. To me, it's like he needed his mom to pick up for other reasons. Like there was like time urgency at that point. I don't know. It's just very weird. And at this point, the 911 call allegedly had already been made, and she was reported missing around 6:30.
So at that, Summer's missing. Straight up. So at that point, does she call you again? Just that night?
No, she called me the next.
So we just saw her trying to tell Hunter the answer. Did she call you again? So this is on the 15th when she went missing. And Allie is answering for him. She says no. And then he says, no, she called me the next day. So do we even know if that's true? Like, did she call or try to get a hold of them again that night? For some reason, Allie really wanted him to say no, whether it's, it really was no or what, but you can just see her say no. She lips it right to him.
Summer's missing, straight up. So at that point, does she call you again? Just that night?
Nah, she called me the next day saying that she's sitting in the.
And all that, I guess, could be verified with their phone records or whatever. But if they were using a different phone or whatever, for some reason, she had to say no. At this question.
The police station.
She's sitting in the police station?
Yeah.
And how many polygraph tests did they do that you know of?
I just know two.
Two? And how did she do on those polygraphs? Did she tell you?
She did not tell me. She just said she had to do that, and I just ignored her the rest of the time.
Okay.
Because they told me not to even get contact of her.
Got it. The police told you don't contact her.
No, the TBI told me.
TBI, don't contact her.
Well, it's some funny crap how they tell me. I'm not dissing them. I'm just saying how they tell me that I'm going to get my phone that Monday afternoon, and it's been almost 2 months straight now.
Okay.
It's been a month.
Okay. Well, they're just trying to line up your story.
I understand that.
And that's important, right? I mean, you know that.
Yeah.
They're going to connect all those dots. And that's the right thing to do, right? Would you agree with that? And so as a result of that, they're going to hold on to that phone and they're going to connect all those dots. And that's the right thing to do, right? Would you agree with that? Right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that said now, she contacts you again, says she's at the police station, has to take another polygraph.
And then she shows up the next day.
The next day she shows up where?
Here, does she not?
Oh, so you were interviewed by TBI on Wednesday. She came here Thursday.
So 2 days after or a day after?
2 days after.
And then what happened when she...
And that's what I don't understand. H is just, she was friends with Allie. At this point, they're not even friends. I understand that H was there on that day, but like, why does Candus need to go over and talk to H 2 days later? Okay, I'm looking at chat. Why did Candus go by after TBI and went to talk to Allie and H? Worried maybe? Exactly. Your kid is missing, but you need to go to the city to speak with Allie and H, and it can't be done over the phone by any means. Definitely worried, Candus. TBI should really get a warrant for all the new phones and they all have bought after Summer went missing. I hope by some memes they have some way to survey them legally, but I just don't know what, if they can tap into whatever.
She got here.
She was like telling me how she talked to them and was like, don't mention about that alcohol, but I didn't mention it.
So wait, did he just say he didn't mention it or he did mention it? Allison told Unmasked the 15th Tuesday was the last time Candus and Allison seen each other. Oh my gosh. Yeah, we need to go back and listen to Allison's interview. Yes, Allie and Candus were not speaking. Why get H that day? Exactly. Alibis, I don't know. Right. They all were communicating a lot through Messenger that day too. Right. So she lied to Unmask then. she lied to unmasked, or H is lying right now and throwing his mom under the bus. She had no business talking to a child, especially when your child is missing. Definitely a motive for Candus visiting H that day. Exactly. Why are you not out? How are you even able to go out and visit somebody? I mean, obviously, I've never been in this situation, and we, I guess, don't know how it would react. But her going to H's house to speak with Allie and H is suspicious. And H just saying, she was telling me not to tell him about the alcohol. I believe that. And what else was she saying not to say? Because that's almost obstruction of justice if that took place, where she's going to tell H not to say certain things. This is just getting ridiculous. And of course, we don't know if H is lying about it. Let's hear that again about the alcohol.
She was like telling me how she talked to them and was like, don't mention about that alcohol, but I don't mention it.
Did she say what she told him?
No. But she started asking me. I just told him what happened on the timeline.
And what did she say?
She said, okay, that better be you. I said, you didn't even scare me.
Well, why would she try to scare you?
That's what I'm saying. Why was she trying to even ask questions about it?
What's your gut feeling?
My gut feeling is that she had something to do with it. But then when all of this happened, she just wanted the money in it because I'm not going to say names, but one of Red's friends, my girlfriend's mother's friends, was on Beach Creek just riding around, and she seen, as soon as someone posted a $25,000 reward, she seen her car, Candus's car, zooming down the road to the Hawkins County Police Station.
So what? What does that mean?
I mean, she supposedly the next day they gave, it was on Facebook that it was a tip.
Got it.
I was gonna say, if that was my daughter, I would have everything to do with it. I wouldn't be sitting at the house trying to get money, trying to just collect dust. I'm gonna be sitting there doing everything in my power.
What do you think happened to Summer?
To be honest with you, my grandma.
See, that whole conversation about the money and stuff didn't really make sense. Even Chris was like, oh, what does that mean? And you can see kind of Allie being fidgety again. She's got to pour herself the drink at that moment. And again, it could be nothing. Could absolutely be nothing. But it almost seemed like another example, like CDT was saying earlier. They go hard to paint an image of Candus that's very bad, and they don't even need to do that. Like, just be truthful, tell it like it is, and everything's going to speak for itself. But for some reason, Allie and H have this, they have to put a lot of heat on Candus, and a lot of us think that Candus knows a lot more, and I'm certain of that. But it's like, why are these people going to the extent to lie for like a missing child investigation? Again, they were some of the last people to see her. So, what do they have to hide? And with alcohol involved, like they said, it's like, did H possibly give Summer some of the alcohol too? Like, was it all Candus, or what is going on? Like, what do they have to hide?
Was out of her mind. Like, you guys, damn. I'm not saying you have to. I'm not saying they have to be in the camera.
I understand.
But I'm saying you can ask them that her mother's usually grumpy, controlling. Like a regular grandma, like her. I'm not trying to be mean. But you know how grandmas can be, like grumpy, controlling, trying to run everything.
What do you think should happen to the person that did this to Summer?
Person that did this,
Yeah.
they should be locked up for a very long time.
Why do you say that?
Because that's like my little sister.
When you got home, now she's
My
living.
mom's truck parks here.
Okay, your
Okay, so that was the end of that. And then these were just like clips that I just wanted to throw in that kind of, you'll see. We'll go through it. It's just a few minutes and then we're done.
Mom's truck's right here.
Yes.
Okay, so when she's leaning against the milk. Is she sleeping?
She was sleeping, yes.
Okay. From exhaustion from that day?
Yes, she was. Well, I woke her up early and she usually sleeps until 9, 10, even 12 o'clock if I let her.
Okay. How did the milk bottles get rearranged? Hunter said he had them on the floor and then he put them next to him.
They weren't.
Is that true?
No.
Okay, so walk me through that.
When we dropped them off, they were actually still on his lap.
Okay.
And he put them on the other side of Summer.
Okay. So he reached over?
Yeah, he set them over there by that. What's a black tote she had in there?
And now from when you pulled up and did she just fall asleep next to that?
She fell asleep, I'd say maybe 5 minutes on the road.
Okay. Got it. And
So, according to Candus, Summer fell asleep 5 minutes down the road. According to Allie and H, Summer was asleep at their house. Or, according to Allie, Summer was asleep at the house. Her house. So, why the difference? I don't know.
so walk me through. You get home, you take the groceries inside. Is Don home, by the way?
No, he's not.
Okay.
Actually, I parked the truck and I opened both doors. It's really hard because this lawnmower is. But I opened the doors up and I shook her. I said, "Wake up, we're at home." She jumped right up.
Okay.
Nothing. I unbuckled her and I said, "Come on."
See, like all that, the first time I watched this interview just kind of stuck out as strange to me. For one, when we started this little clip, she said, "My mom's car was parked here." And Chris never asked her that. So sometimes when people offer up information without being asked, it can mean like, why are they placing it there? Pretty much. You want to know. And she said, "I came over here, opened the doors," which is kind of hard with these lawnmowers here. So it makes me wonder if it's like she realized at that point, like her story wasn't really like falling into place with the mowers being there. It's just, I don't really believe this whole scenario here because she says she jumped up. I unbuckled her. So wait, how did she jump up?
But I opened the doors up and I shook her. I said, "Wake up, we're at home." She jumped right up.
Okay.
Like nothing. I unbuckled her and I said, "Come on." I said, "Mom, I'll be right back." Went in there.
So that pretty much concludes my analysis of Allie's body language for, H's interview. It just leaves us with, a lot of contradicting stories. I don't know. How many in chat think that picture is more than just she was sleeping? Like, press 1 if you think she's sleeping in that picture. Press 2 if you think, it's something more. Was she drunk and passed out? Was she something else? Curious what you guys think in chat. So a lot of people so far are not thinking she's just innocently asleep. Is that what I'm saying? And that it's more than just her being passed out exhausted. Because we had talked about it before too. She was and a lot of people say it, even Robin, she's a very hyperactive girl. CDT said, "I think she was alive, but it's deeper than just her being asleep." Agree. Somebody said Summer was drugged. Oh, it's terrible. Candace doesn't seem like the mom to unbuckle her and walk 10 feet to... Exactly. Walk her 10 feet and their grandma to the house. Just saying, I know. That did not sound believable. Like when she said, I came around here, opened the door, which is hard with the lawnmowers here. It's like, wait, what? That's why I'm almost open to the idea that she didn't make it home that day. Or she made it home and wasn't well. And I don't know. Where is that pillow in the bathing suit? What shoes? What shoes was she wearing? Everyone says, oh, she might have been barefoot when she went missing. Okay. At this point, H was never asked about her shoes. Did Allie ever get asked about it in her interview? Good night, Shannon. Thanks for chatting. D. Irish said, I know I'm the odd one, but I do feel something happened after. After she got home. So you think she got up from that? Yeah, I mean, something definitely could have happened. Say she was drugged or drunk, maybe Candace did have to assist her out. Like we say, oh, Candace isn't the type to unbuckle her and walk her up to the door. Maybe Summer was in a state, this is terrible to say, but she actually needed her mom's help walking or getting unbuckled. And why is her seatbelt the way that it is? It was like tucked behind her arm. I know kids do that a lot, but I don't know. Right. Deco wants to know, we don't know if the boys saw Summer. Why? Well, they're, yeah, they're being protected because they're minors, but they definitely know way more. Poor kids. Yes, not just sleep. Amber, major key. Yeah. It might not, I'm not sure what the state laws are in Tennessee, but it would be illegal in New York, that's for sure. She said 40 pounds and no car seat. Is that illegal? You can't even ride in the back seat in New York without a seatbelt on. An adult or a kid. You get a ticket. Oh, okay. Facing Reality said she may have made it home because for some reason law enforcement isn't searching the horse pond. They are searching the outside of the home. But then we have reports of them saying, we've searched the home. Because somebody said something about needing to search the property or something on Twitter. JLR said that. And then TBI responded was like, we've searched the property. Yeah, somebody said, I believe they had divers at the horse pond. They definitely used divers for this case. I'm not sure where. I don't know. Bing said, in my opinion, Summer is not missing. For Candace and Grandis, that is why they don't respond accordingly. Right, like, wouldn't you be out screaming on the rooftops for your grandchild to come back, but the mom and the grandma are quiet? Summer allegedly was home for about 3 hours before the 911 call. What did the boys see? What did they do for the 3 hours besides laundry and flowers? Yeah, I don't believe a word Candace says took place once H is dropped off, or even as H is being dropped off. Things are not making sense. And they took TVs out of the house. TBI did, to kind of look through them because smart TVs have cameras. That would let us know if Summer, I'm not sure how they extract that, but if she was home. maybe. In my opinion, H called Candace for a ride to pick up his own sack. He said he was up all night, no sleep that day. He was careless, dropped it. Summer ate it. So we're talking about no, Summer never ate anything. When did Summer eat anything? She didn't. She had candy allegedly when she got home and from the grandmother. Texaholic. In one of the interviews or videos that Don did with Voices, he says they took clothing from the house, TBI, and their televisions, but I think they got them back. But yeah, they can extract from smart televisions. Thank you, Mary. She said, happy holidays to everyone. Yes, happy holidays. Thanks again. Great live. Love y'all. Have a Merry Christmas. Stay safe. Pray for our summer is found soon. Yeah. Yes. Right. There's so many possibilities. It's very frustrating. Why did she say summer just jumped up like nothing? Odd to say that. I agree. She jumped up like nothing at point wouldn't like it wasn't like we were talking about her being injured at the swim hole at that point, but for some reason Candace was like, "Oh, she jumped up like nothing." Like it was odd to say. Yes, the boys, I guess, allegedly from what I'm hearing, are thriving in foster care. Yep. Jessica said, agree, that stood out to me from the get-go. Yeah, it was really weird, wasn't it? So I don't believe she stood up and got up like nothing. Something was not right at that point. And we've talked about this before. We don't know what prescription was picked up. Um, they picked up a prescription and then went shopping with the kids in the car. What if they opened the prescription and ate some of it and drank whatever, you know what I mean? They have a twisted tea. Yeah, it's nothing for an adult maybe, but this is a 40-pound child. Do you think the church is involved? I don't know. Everything is on the table, Colleen. I sort of started the live chat saying that. Hi, Kimmy Jean. I was just saying everything's on the table. Everyone close to this child is a person of interest. There are people that I've kind of weeded out and not focused in on as much anymore. The church isn't my top suspicion, but there's a lot of strange characters. Yeah, I mean, and not only maybe it wasn't Summer's idea to get into the meds, and of course we're just speculating. Maybe it was, someone else's idea. I don't know. I just am concerned of the substance abuse and the children being around. I mean, we had H explain when Candace gets drunk and high, she thinks she misplaces the kids. That's paranoia from meth. So, where is there a black tote in the milk jug photo? I don't know. But I really appreciate you guys listening. I really appreciate you guys breaking down this case with me. We studied it a lot when it was breaking, and then, we were getting nowhere, and we're kind of at the same point, but now it's like we're going back through and we're going to re-go through these interviews and, try to pick up some things maybe we missed the first time. No, Bings, I haven't seen any of them. I'm trying to figure out why Robin lied about the red Tacoma being ruled out. Exactly. You and me both, Lisa Lee. Yeah. Marking them off on the flyers and then come to find out she owns one, but not at the time Summer went missing. Strange. Moonraven said, I heard when H got home, he could not talk to anyone. I heard the video of his mom, Allie, saying he won't talk, he's scared, wonder what happened. Oh, I'd love to see that for myself. Yes, and came out on the Wells channel. Yeah, their YouTube channel to make the statement about owning the red truck, a red truck. But then she said, but it's not the red truck. I don't know. It's very strange. Thank you, D. Irish. She said it's great to go back to the beginning. Great live. And Chris McDonough, he really did ask good questions. This Candus interview is really good. I want to go through that. Everything just needs to be gone through with a fine tooth comb. We've done it with other cases, so we'll just continue it. Well, thank you again. And check back periodically. I'm not working on anything right now for, editing for this case, but I do want to continue to go through other interviews. So I think the next live I do will be related to the Kurt Cobain case, which is a closed case as in suicide, but some of us feel it's more than that. So if I get any updates, of course, I'll bring them to you ASAP. TBI hasn't put out any updates since the one from the other day, which is on my channel, and I'm sure everyone's seen anyways. But yeah, hopefully we get some more answers. And until then, we're just going to keep digging. And yeah, happy holidays. I don't know if I'll be doing another live stream before Christmas, but if it's not till after Christmas, happy holidays. Merry Christmas, everyone. And I really appreciate you all. So take care and we'll talk soon.